Hello Mousers! With all the recent news about Apple versus Samsung, Apple versus Google, and all the other patent wars that are going on, I thought I'd explain what exactly patents are. Now, there are three different types of intellectual property that come up a lot in the legal news. There are copyrights, which we've covered before, designs, which are basically the look and feel of something, such as the Apple iPhone design, which is the curves, the shape, the general layout, that kind of thing. It's a design, it's actually registrable, so people can't make a similar product. So, for example, if I make a new type of teapot that has a special anti-spill pouring mechanism, and I register the design, no one else can make that particular design of teapot. They can make a teapot, but they can't make my teapot, for example. And then, of course, there's patents. Patents are what you use to register inventions. Not just any type of invention, it's got to be specific. For example, I can't invent a new kind of software and then get a patent on that, because software, especially in the UK, is regarded as a literary work. It's something you write. So, I would have to copyright that particular version of my software, and then use the Copyright Designs and Patents Act, which is exactly the same thing for using patents and designs, as well as copyrights. I can protect my work. But if I invent, for example, a new form of vehicle, such as a car that travels faster than light using a revolutionary new engine, I can patent that. But I wouldn't patent just that car. I would patent every single part of it. The design I would register as a design. The name I would copyright or trademark or whatever, depending on whether it fits under copyright or trademark. We've covered trademark as well before. It's basically the McDonald's logo, the Nike logo, that kind of thing. It's your mark that you use to distinguish you in the trade. But a patent, well, that's invention, and it has certain requirements. If I wanted to make sure that I could patent my work, I would have to meet certain requirements. The first requirement is that my invention be capable of application. I can't just go out now and patent faster than light travel as a concept, because it is not capable of application right now. I can't demonstrate the ability to do it. You have to be capable of application. So, for example, my faster than light travel car, if I actually have a working mechanism, I can patent that. If I have an idea that I'm going to build a faster than light car, I can't patent it. Next, it must be novel. The application must be novel. I can't go out now and patent the internal combustion engine, because it's not novel. People have been doing that for years. Just as I can't go out and patent the idea of collecting energy from the sun, because people have been using solar power for years. But if I have my fast and light car and I've invented a revolutionary new mechanism for transport, I can patent that because it's novel. It's revolutionary, it's new, it's novel. And that revolutionary idea is what meets the third requirement. Your invention must have a novel step. A novel step being very difficult to define, but basically someone comes along and says, "Oh, I wish I thought of that." Yeah, that's probably because it's a novel step. It might be obvious once you've done it, such as that idea of looking in messages and websites and things like that for series of numbers that look like a telephone number, and then highlighting that so your mobile phone, when looking at that website, can then just dial that number on one click. That's a revolutionary step. It might be obvious now, but it wasn't used, if you know what I mean. Because a revolutionary step is defined as something that must not be obvious to someone skilled in the art, which is basically means that people that were already working in that field didn't think of it. That doesn't preclude anyone saying, "Oh, yeah, that's obvious." Because if it was obvious, why weren't you doing it? So, basically, a patent is a protection for something that is novel, innovative, and hasn't been done before. It's a new thing, it's a new way of working, and it has to be protected because the person that lived down the street from me a couple of 100 years ago started off the Industrial Revolution with his invention, and there weren't any patents, and everyone else stole his idea. And as a result, we have modern life, we have the mass production system, we have all kinds of innovation. But the guy who started it all lived out the rest of his life in poverty and died in a poorhouse. So we can see exactly why all of these inventions must be patented. But at the same time, patents have to have limits. We can't just say it's patented indefinitely, and we don't. you have a patent for a certain amount of time, and then after that it becomes public domain. So that's alright, but all of these patent trolls are going on at the moment saying, oh, you can't do this, if that violates our patent, give us some money. Yeah, you've got to have a very good lawyer when you're in the invention game, because people like that turn up. They try and claim they've got patents on things and prior art and things like that. So just because you've patented something doesn't mean you're protected. You've got to talk to a good patent lawyer. In other words, get yourself protected always. You might have protected your invention, protect yourself as well. And that's my advice for today. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, remember to click the like button and share it with your friends so that they know what all these patent arguments are about as well. And subscribe for future videos. Until next time, I've been Kirk-Robinson, you've been watching the video, and I'll see you tomorrow.